Hey Raiders, Mr. Engel here on November 9th. Have a special guest, Miss Chinesky with us, or Miss C as everyone knows, is our freshman success coach. And we want to just take a couple moments together to go over some important things to help students be more successful as we get ready to close out our first semester. And it's pretty exciting times. We're down to our third 6 weeks. So important information to go over today. Before we get into that, I did want to take some time to introduce and let know our last month's winners of our Faculty of the Month. We have Miss Holguin in our Science Department. Way to go, Miss Holguin. Yay, we appreciate all that you do and all the extra time you put with kids. Miss Gibson and all of her experiences in our science classroom. So thank you, Miss Gibson. And we want to thank Miss Moore for all she does as our intervention specialist here in our school. So thank you to those three wonderful staff members. And we also have a parent, Miss Horn is our parent of the month. So we want to thank Miss Horn, Miss Kelly Horn, for all that she does in supporting our band and many programs here at the school. I want to encourage all of our parents to join our PTA. It is a partnership. We know that we are always going to be the second educators in your children's lives, as you will always be the number one educator. So we take and value our partnership very, very much. And so we want to encourage you to join our PTA. It allows you to have your voice and work with me to make sure that the priorities of the community and your children are being served, because we want to make sure that we're doing all we can to make it the very best educational experience for you. I want to talk a little bit. I brought Miss C here today just to talk about some things that freshmen can be doing to make sure that their grades are up to par when we close out the first semester. So what are some things, some helpful hints you have for the freshmen as we go into this third 6 weeks?
So my first piece of advice is to make sure that you're bringing your Chromebook every single day and making sure it's fully charged with a charger if it's not fully charged, because you use them throughout the day and you want to make sure that if it does die out after your half of the day, that you have access to charging it completely so you can complete that schoolwork. Another thing that I would say is making sure that you are checking your grades on Focus and making sure that you're looking at where you're at in your classes and communicating with your teachers if you see something wrong or maybe you don't like where your grade is at. You can always talk to them, email them, set up a time where you can go into tutorial hours to make sure that you're doing all that you can to raise your grade. Your teachers are there to help you. That's why they're there. They want to see you succeed. So making sure you're using them as an access point to help you get where you want to get to. Absences, curbing those and making sure that you are not reaching any more than 4 in a semester is key, because you are putting yourself at risk for losing credit, even if you are succeeding well in a classroom. Overall, I would just say it's been a tough year for transitioning back, but making sure that you're staying on top of your attitude and making sure that you're trying to be as positive as possible. And when you can't be, communicating to the people who are there to set up to help you, like counselors, myself. Your teachers are a good resource to see how we can situate yourself so that you can feel like you're in a successful space for school.
Awesome. And I just want to remind everyone that, again, your attendance matters. And I want to go over the rule at Southwest High School. If you continue to be more than 10 minutes late, which is more than 10% of the class, again, class is 90 minutes long, so 10% would be 9 minutes. If you miss more than 9 minutes, really you're supposed to be counted absent. I give you an extra minute. Teachers, if you're kind, probably will work with you in the next couple minutes after that. But the people who are coming in 25, 30, 35 minutes late, you're going to be counted absent for that class because you've missed more than the 10% of class time that's really impacting instruction. So parents, one of the things that we really want to see is students on class, in class on time. So please help with that. The other thing that not just freshmen, but I think all students we need to have a conversation about is our technology.
Absolutely.
I know last year, everyone, it was, virtual classrooms and everything was online. And there were some benefits to that. There were some, allowed us to, be be not here at school but still have school. But there also were some disadvantages. Students kind of learned, hey, I can, have this piece of technology on and this piece of technology, and maybe not be as invested with the learning environment as needed. Now that we're transitioning back, parents, we really need your help in talking to kids about their cell phone. And students, I need you to be mature about your use with your cell phone. Cell phone addiction is a real thing.
Absolutely.
I think for both adults and students. And it's really impacting how students are learning here at Southwest High School. So we are going to have some times where cell phones aren't allowed to be out in the classroom, not even to listen to music, because we really want students to be engaged in the learning that's taking place in the day. And we're just finding that students are, we're competing with TikTok and,
Instagram.
music and, a million different things, videos and social communication between friends. But we're missing out on the instruction that needs to be taking place. Students, if you want to, and parents, if you want to impact children's education, just talk to your students about the amount of screen time. Your phone allows you to look at your screen time and the hours. And we have students, that openly admit they're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hours with their phone. And so I just think that's unhealthy in a lot of ways, and it's certainly impacting the success our students are having in school. So we are going to decrease the amount of time we allow students to have access to their phones. We are going to be utilizing some active listening time and kind of monitoring it with students, what the expectations are in regards to technology in the classroom. But parents, please help support us. The phones and technology, it's a great resource, but it shouldn't be a resource that competes with education. And I believe that that's what it's become in many circles. And just like anything, a tool without proper guidance on how to utilize it, it's not a tool anymore. It actually becomes something counterproductive to what we're trying to do here at Southwest. So parents, please, again, take some time to get our kids away from the screen and interacting in face-to-face conversations and reading a book and interacting in their homework. So just want to put that out there. I am going to post a little article. It does have some steps about making a plan, monitoring use, taking a time out, and setting the example. It's from the New York Times, and just, is your child a phone addict? And so parents will share that on this. And students, you may want to think about, how do I start limiting my time on my cell phone so that I can do other things? Because I think I don't want to be a part that encourages a generation to miss out on the wonderful humanity of our world. So that's something that's important.
Yeah, and I think that article is a really good thing to read, because I was in a class yesterday and we had a stand-up debate about, is cell phone addiction a problem or not? Because cell phone addiction is scientifically proven to be a thing at this point, but the whole point of, is it a problem or not, is where we need to start identifying within ourselves. It's kind of like when we think about fast food. It's not necessarily bad that there's McDonald's French fries out there, but if we're not able to limit
Definitely
ourselves, then we're, going to be taking away from our health. And this is kind of the same thing that we're starting to see with cell phones, is if we're not able to monitor ourselves, if we're not able to take ourselves away from the cell phone to pay attention at the times that we're supposed to be paying attention, then it is an addiction, because we're not able to, and it is going to impact you in the long run. And we would hate for you to see, like, when it's too late, that, oh man, I had my head in my phone instead of living my life and making the choices that were going to set me up for an awesome future that everyone deserves to have here, and we want you to have as well.
And it is limiting kids' abilities to have quality peer-to-peer interactions, even how to talk to one another in a face-to-face setting. I see so many people when I'm out at restaurants not enjoying restaurants. And I always tell the kids, one of the important things is to value one another. And it's really hard to do that behind a screen. And so I think all of us, myself, parents, students, we all can do our part in understanding that technology is great, but it's a tool, and we can't allow that tool to surpass the needs that we're having in education, because we are really this year for the first time really seeing how it affects students negatively. So parents, number one way, I think if your child's struggling in school, the phone is an earned thing. It's not that I have 4 kids, and it's not that I take away their phone, but I do pay their phone bill, so they have to earn the opportunity for access to that tool. And students, I would encourage your parents, if you're struggling in school, to make you earn that opportunity back, and just encourage that. Parents, the other thing I want to talk to you about a little bit is just lunchtime and student expectations at lunchtime. We have a lot of students who are door dashing, Uber Eats, all these different meals that they get at lunch. Again, we do have access to, I let 10th, 11th, and 12th graders go off campus. 9th graders have access to the cafeteria as well as 10th, 11th, and 12th. All food in the cafeteria is free. But my concern is this: if you're utilizing DoorDash or Uber Eats and then you're waiting and missing the first 25 minutes of 3rd or 7th period, now you're counting absent because you're not handling your lunch expectations the way it is. We do give students an extended period of lunch time. It's not 30 minutes like it is in middle school. We do give an extended 45 minutes, but we need you to be done eating and ready to go to your 3rd or 7th period class. So parents, please kind of talk to your students and children about just being back on time for 3rd and 7th period. We are seeing significant absences rack up there. So we want to make sure that doesn't become a problem. Remember, in high school, you have to meet both the grade standard and the attendance requirement by the state of Texas in order to receive credit. And that standard is you can have no more than 4 absences. So we want to make sure that we're doing our part. Other than that, again, Ms. C is here to help, not just freshmen, but we're here to work with everyone. We want to finish strong the 3rd semester. You average your first 3 semester grades together along with your final to get your semester credit. We want to make sure that we finish strong, you get your credits, and that we're ready for a spring semester. Things are kind of flying by, and we're going to have Thanksgiving break here and then the winter break. And so we want to make sure that over the next couple weeks, we're really taking advantage of all that we have to offer here at Southwest High School. So Ms. C, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, I'd like to thank the broadcast and journalism students for all they do in making these videos possible. Until next time, go Raiders.